So Jesus is literally saying that the Messiah, David called the Messiah Yehovah or Adonai, most likely Yehovah, because that's where it's found in that specific case. But it can go either way, never for Adoni. That's the point. So he could not have said Adoni, my Lord, because it's a singular form of kurios, not my Lord.
Wow. Very good. Very good. Okay. So why Adoni? Okay.
Correct. Adoni. The scribe 900 years after Jesus was following Jewish tradition. Jewish tradition said that Psalm 110:1 was about either Abraham or David, a human master or Lord. They did not originally affirm the Messiah in Psalm 110:1. And I put this in my master's thesis, affirming that they, in the earliest tradition within the Talmud, talking earlier to different rabbis, affirming that either they believed it was speaking of David or Abraham, or that it's referring to even Hezekiah at some point. They did not hold the messianic tradition of that text early on. Now, later on, a few hundred years later, they started to say, well, maybe it's about David or Abraham and the Messiah, or David and the Messiah. It could be, but earliest tradition to refute the Christians was this is about Hezekiah or David or Abraham. Therefore, it is Adoni, not the Messiah.
Right.
Now, that's important because if you believe that it is Adoni, that means you're got to believe the Jewish tradition that it's either going to be speaking of David or Abraham or Hezekiah and not the Messiah. That makes Jesus a liar.
Wow.
Does that mean you're saying you cannot hold to Adoni because the tradition of why they put Adoni is what you have to accept. The reason behind it. If you reject the reason, well, I don't believe it's David, Abraham, I believe it's the Messiah, then you have to go with Adonai or Yehovah, because that's what Jesus was saying in reference to himself as the Messiah. Because they are telling you, we're putting Adoni because we don't believe it's about the Messiah. We think it's either David, Abraham, or Hezekiah, and it could be a combination of other things. And so if you reject that, then you reject Adoni. You can't have it both ways.
I like how you put that you can't have it both ways.